Hello there, ladies and gentlemen, this is Boisterous coming to you with some Bronze League Badassery out of the map Polar Knight. Spying down here in the bottom corner, we do have WarDrums as our red Protoss player, and up here on the top side of the map, we do have Iconic's ShadowWraith as our blue Terran player. And, yeah, so this replay was titled No Gas Bronze Troll Game. So, I want to see how this works. I want to see this. I'm just going to say ShadowWraith's the one that sent this game in. I honestly don't know who wins, but I'm going to pray that it's the Protoss player. Because even if you're rusty, if you're playing against someone that's going for a no-gas bronze troll game, you should win. Like, literally, no matter what the scenario. Literally, if you get above gateway tech, even if you stay at gateway tech and you get a couple sentries, and, you know, maybe like some stalkers, you should win this. And if you go above gateway tech and you maybe get, you know, one High Templar, maybe one Colossi, just mix those in with your army, you should be pretty safe. Without a question. Without a question. I mean, just there's no question. You should win the game. If you're facing off against literally only Marines. Oh, ShadowWraith, you're in a perfect position to plug me. I saw this chat going back and forth. I know this is when this is when I wasn't really casting much. But ShadowWraith, come on man, just throw it the Boisterous. Nah, he's just getting rude. Come on, man. Come on. If anyone asks you what games you watch, just go ahead and maybe type out, you know, youtube.com/boisteroussc2. Maybe just say, you know, he accepts replays, boisteroussc2@gmail.com. You know, check him out. All of that. If I decide to get an ad done, I'll just post it right in the middle of the screen here, and it'll just stay here for like 15 seconds. And I'm probably not going to do that because that sounds like work, and I'm not really intent on work. Maybe I'll just make my overlay extra big right there. Yeah, I'm probably just going to make the overlay extra big right there. Yeah, boisteroussc2, gmail.com, youtube.com/boisteroussc2. Alright, so anyway, we are going to have ShadowWraith building up his army, still not going for gas. Now, of course, he did get his gas blocked, so that's a little bit annoying, but considering the fact that, you know, this was a troll game, it's not that annoying, because, I mean, if it was not a troll game, he would be getting gas right now, because he's going for a gasless FE off 1 Rax, which is interesting. And it would appear that we are going to have WarDrums beating his beat and getting warp gate technology up, so that's going to be nice and useful. He should be able to, you know, warp in some units now. He should be making something. There we go. He is going to be making a stalker. A little bit surprised that's not a sentry coming out. Usually players go for the sentry, but I guess he isn't going for a fast expand, so it does not really matter what's going to happen here. You know, especially because I doubt ShadowWraith's going to be going for a high attack value in the next little while. I don't know why I just talked about ShadowWraith like he's a Yu-Gi-Oh card, but you know, his defense is way higher than his attack. Like, I mean, he's like a Steam Roy right now, alright? He's just he's more defensive player. Maybe a Submarine Roy. Yeah, he's probably like a Submarine Roy. Like, you know, if he attacks, it boosts his attack a little bit and he doesn't have to attack monsters, but you know, he's way better at defending, let's be honest. Just keep him in defensive stance and he'll be A-okay. So anyway, we are going to have a probe getting trapped here for WarDrums. That is very, very embarrassing. Oh, this poor little probe. Oh, is it worth it to cancel the Twilight Council? Hint, it's not. It's not. You should just kill it with the sentry. Or just put the probe out of its misery. Because canceling the Twilight Council will be like 25 minerals and 25 gas. And that's a little bit too expensive. But it's still sad to see little tiny probes like this just getting trapped. It's almost like a probe trapped in a well, except that you can't get a dog to come and get them out. You can't lassie it, which is really annoying. And I wonder if he's going to notice that his probe is still trapped here, because it is. And it looks like we are going to have ShadowWraith expanding like a madman, already up to 3 bases at 6 minutes into the game, going a little bit crazier than most Zerg players, and yet still, again, just want to point this out, no freaking gas, alright? WarDrums is already like halfway to the army he needs to kill this guy. Literally, if he drops the High Templar Archive, if he drops the Templar Archives, it's over. Oh, no, it's going to be Dark Shrine. Because when you're, you know, in a moderately good spot on the game, you Dark Shrine. That's exactly how this rolls. I'm glad that WarDrums has not played in a while, so that he can come on back and just drop that Dark Shrine. Because let's be honest, when you're playing against a Terran player, that's probably going to have scans ready, and you're probably not going to do a whole ton of damage with Dark Templar, because, you know, most Terran players are better than just letting SCVs die off. Maybe they'll let one die off and they'll run away with the rest, but, you know, most players, even in Bronze League, know how to deal with the Dark Templar. You still want to just drop that Dark Shrine for absolutely no reason. Bronze League. Yeah. Oh, well, it looks like we are going to have the proxy pylon going down, so WarDrums will be in a reasonable position to get these Dark Templar out. Once the Dark Shrine finishes, as soon as I can stop, ugh, man, almost vomiting in my own mouth, that would be fine. Ugh. We have a Warp Prism coming out from WarDrums as I just try to fight off death right there. It was a little bit rough, but the Dark Shrine is just about to finish. Now, of course, he still only has 2 warp upgrades complete, so there will only be 2 Dark Templar in this first warp in, which is not an impressive number. However, hopefully once he gets into the base, he'll see that there is no freaking gas, and he'll, I don't know, do something like make 1 High Templar, maybe 2 High Templar. Maybe if he feels like just being crazy, making a Colossus. But those things are pretty useful when you see a Terran player that's not getting any freaking gas, literally at all. He's still not building any Dark Templar, so it looks like this proxy pylon was literally just for nothing. And instead this Warp Prism is going to be happening. Now, of course, ShadowWraith does have control of both of the Zone Lugga towers, so he will know that this Warp Prism is on the way, and he will be sending a brigade of Marines to intercept it, and it does go down, and that is not a-okay for WarDrums. He is going to be forced to warp in his Dark Templar over at this proxy pylon, which is not an ideal situation for him. He really, really wanted to get that Warp Prism. Oh my god, he's building another Warp Prism. Dude, WarDrums. You were found out. Your plan was discovered. Build something else. Build an Immortal. Maybe he has tanks or Marauders. I know he doesn't, but you don't, so maybe you should build some. Oh my god, that's a ton of barracks. Alright, we have 11 barracks in the main base of ShadowWraith. Going to be going for that mass Marine production. It looks like these Dark Templar are going to just clump up and go right for the middle of the line. They are going to let themselves get found out extremely quickly. Then they're going to go right for the Marine force. And is there a scan ready? No! And the ShadowWraith, yet again with the BM. He is not a happy man right now. And it looks like these 4 Dark Templar are going to be able to do a tremendous amount of damage. When is the next scan going to be up? In about 30-ish seconds, maybe 20. Yeah, 20 seconds, 18. Until this orbital command does have a scan, and as soon as that scan happens, this Dark Templar attack should be over, purely because almost every Dark Templar is at here. But oh my god, is he going to snipe off the orbital command? He is. That's not good. It looks like we are going to be up to 6 Dark Templar attacking the main base of ShadowWraith. ShadowWraith, block off your wall, ShadowWraith, wall. It's the R button. The R button raises your supply depot so like you don't get bum rushed in your own base. And it looks like we are going to have the SCVs preparing that orbital command, and the Dark Templars will be forced off at this point. One of them will get sniped off. However, he will not be able to kill off the other 4 until right now, and there we go. He should be able to get a fair chunk of them here. Actually not getting a surround off, and that is quite annoying as we are going to see these Dark Templars managing to run away. And actually they are going to live for a little bit longer, and wow, these Dark Templars are doing like 7 times the amount of damage they should be able to do. If we look at workers killed, they've killed off 10 lurkers. Let's see how many units are lost for a Templar. 44 units lost. It's a lot of Terran units dead. It's a lot of Terran units that died. Let's have a moment of silence for our Terran brethren that have been going down here. It looks like we do have even more Dark Templar coming through, and ShadowWraith has just got to be frustrated now. Granted, he does have another base that's just elsewhere, so it does not really matter. It looks like we are going to have a scan coming down, and with this surround on the Dark Templar, these Dark Templars should be able to die. Will the command center go down? No, it will not. It looks like the command center will stand tall. So, of course, ShadowWraith still up in bases. He is up 2-to-1 bases. WarDrums actually getting his base attacked by 3 Marines right now. Almost losing it to those 3 Marines, may I just add. However, he is able to live just a little bit longer. And it looks like this base from ShadowWraith is just being strong at this point. Just surprisingly strong. It will get discovered here by this Warp Prism. And that's a little bit annoying, but it's not really terrible. I mean, there are 2 warp prisms out now. Don't know why he has 2. The first one managed to sneak through. He does not have any pylons currently, so he is going to have to build some pylons. He's not currently building any pylons, but he does need them. So at some point, I would expect to see a pylon going up into his production tab. Maybe in the next 10-15 seconds? No. Maybe? WarDrum. It's the E button. Click on a probe, hit BE. Literally click anywhere, as long as there's not another building. It's not a cliff. No? Alright, it looks like he is instead going to be going right for this third base of ShadowWraith, and of course he will be losing his entire force to the massive marines that ShadowWraith has been building up, because of course ShadowWraith still sticking to his no gas stipulation that he put upon himself, because, I mean, he's crazy. And of course, he's winning mainly because WarDrums refuses quite vehemently to get anything other than a Dark Shrine. He has a Warp Gate unpowered right now. He has 3,000 minerals. I'm pointing at my screen and you can't even see. And he has Warp Gate unpowered. Oh my god, WarDrums. WarDrums. Oh, just one up. Alright. Alright. This is pretty bad. It looks like we are going to have ShadowWraith pushing out across the map with a small force of Marines. You know, this isn't too crazy large. It is just crazy large enough for WarDrums to have absolutely no units and just absolutely die to it. Because even if he does manage to get a couple of Dark Templars out, it's really not going to matter because there are going to be scans from ShadowWraith, unless ShadowWraith is a silly man, and ShadowWraith is not a silly man. He has been saving up 4 scans. We have 3 command centers down here that are just going to be building up for ShadowWraith, and ShadowWraith should be able to push in and win at this point. I would be very disappointed if he did not win within like the next 3-4 minutes. Because let's be honest here, there's no units. I mean, he's building Immortals to fight Marines. Okay, that's not the combination you want there. You don't want to be like, all right, okay, I'm gonna handle this because I got Immortals and all he's got is Marines. There's no way I'm gonna lose this. My Immortals do so much damage. I mean, look at that. They have 4 cannons. It's obvious they're gonna be able to like one-shot a group of 4 Marines. They have 4 cannons. They can just go like do 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 do. But that's not how it works because this is a game, and the Immortals are actually anti-armor units. So the Immortal does manage to lose all of its shield fighting off those 4 Marines, and WarDrums still trapped in his own base. ShadowWraith currently at 2 times the supply of his opponent. We are going to have a small group of probes moving out here and trying to just secure as many bases as possible. However, to be honest, this is really just extending out the amount of time that I have to talk, which is a little bit annoying. I mean, it's not absurd just because I love making fun of people, but you know, it's a small amount of annoying, but it's entertaining enough, and it looks like we are going to have a small platoon of Marines heading over here. They will be able to snipe off all of these probes because, of course, the Zelnaga towers are still taken for our Terran player, and he is able to see the entirety of the map, and it looks like there is a cancel on that Nexus going down. So of course, WarDrums, in quite the annoying scenario, he will be going for this base as hard as possible, and with some Dark Templar, he might be able to just take it. However, they do manage to float, because that's what Terran buildings are capable of doing. And this is a large group of Marines, and I would be very surprised to see ShadowWraith not realize that they are all dying to Dark Templar. There's the scan going down, and that scan happening will basically be the end of this group of Dark Templar, and the end of this game, I would hope. Because, of course, it's Immortals and Stalkers versus an army of Marines, like a very solid army of Marines. And an Immortal really just charging to his death there, going down quite fast, and we are going to have another few Stalkers trying to fight here. However, the Marines, the 0-0 Marines, are just a little bit too strong for those Protoss units. And at this point, WarDrums is basically dead. He has some gas, however, he's pinned inside of his base completely. It looks like all of his probes will be dying here, or at least, you know, followed to their death. And WarDrums calling the GG, and ShadowWraith just giggling a little bit because he did not take gas this entire game. He won with literally just Marines against a Protoss player. The Protoss player, by the way, had a robotics facility and had a Twilight Council. He was one building away in either direction from getting a Colossus or High Templar, either of which would have won the game instantly, like without a question. If he had gotten a Colossus, it would have been like, oh, the game's over. If he'd gotten 4 High Templar, it would have been like, oh, the game's over. but instead he just decided to make DTs and lose. So, yeah, literally, one unit away from winning the game, without a question. Because ShadowWraith was not even ready to attack. He would have had Colossus out. Alright, so anyways, if you guys want more Boisterous action, you can head on over to youtube.com/BoisterousSC2. Also, if you'd like your games commentated, send them on into boisteroussc2@gmail.com. I promise, I only mock the other guys. See? Notice, I only mocked WarDrums. So if you send your game in, I will completely ignore the stupid shit you're doing, like not taking gas, and I'll just make fun of your opponents, because if you win a game where you don't take gas, trust me, I can make fun of them, and it will just be entertaining all around. So anyway, guys, this is Boisterous, signing out.